Okay, here we go. We're live. We got it. Sorry about the delay. My fuck-faced cat was walking across my soundboard. Problem solved, I think. Are we good?
Are we good? I think we're good.
Okay, got it. All right, what are we doing today? We are going to be hauling some stuff. The new Raft is out, and this thing is actually pretty cool. I tested it out at the PTU right before the patch dropped, and I didn't have any problems with it. And I went ahead and unloaded all the put all the components on it already, so it should be good to go. I don't know about you guys, but when the patch dropped, I lost all of my components for all of my ships. As a matter of fact, I didn't even have the Raft stored. I actually lost the Raft, which sucked ass. So I had to go buy that ship again as well. So I'm out probably about 6 mil just from the patch drop. But, you know, hey, that's Star Citizen, right, baby? So let's go ahead and take some missions. Let's see what the deal is here. I've already accepted quite a few of these hauling missions just to get things going. I'm not a big fan of, not a huge fan of starting a stream and like making everybody watch me run around and waste time. So what we're doing today is what are we doing? Am I in the right screen? Yes. Looking for direct planetary. Direct planetary missions go straight from a starport to the low orbit station. This one runs from Riker Memorial to Bikini. That's where we want to go. Or we can probably get more than that. What we got here? Bikini to Riker Memorial. Ooh, I'm going to add that to the list. I've stacked a whole bunch of Bikini to Riker missions. And we're gonna crush it. We're gonna make such a huge haul out of this one. Got too many chat relays in the way. Oh, well, I'll move some windows around. There we go. Planetary, direct planetary. See what we got here. We are going from, oh, that's the same one. There's another one here that's from Riker to Genie. There we go. 105 SCU, and the other one is 51 plus 44, 55.95. So if I got both of these, we would have more cargo than we could carry in the Raft. The Raft now holds 196 SCU. And we're not going to do that. We're going to do this one mission. Just simple and easy. From Riker. Right? Give me a second here. I'm going to move overlay back somewhere else. Okay. Let's punch it. Let's get in the ship. Let's start the Raft up. Let's get this thing going. Let's take a look around. You haven't seen this ship yet. This is a medium-sized cargo hauler that is also classified as a medium freight ship. And it used to have all kinds of struts underneath here, and it only carried 96 SCU, which means as soon as you were done with the rookie missions, it was basically done. The ship was over. It was obsolete. You weren't really going to use it for much anymore. And the concept of the Raft was that this ship was going to be used just to run from low orbit stations down to the planet, and what I think they had really player bases in mind for this ship originally, but people want to use it and they couldn't, and I guess they figured out that no one's buying a ship they can't use because it just, like I said, obsolete an hour later. But here's the entrance. Let's go inside. Let's check it out. Here comes the elevator. Oh, you know what? I haven't checked my volume levels yet. Let's check that while we cruise. All right. No can do. Alt tab not working. Give me a second here. Did my keyboard just cut crap out on me? Okay, no. All right, fuck it. Too late now. We're gonna roll with it. Here's the cockpit. Quick tour of the ship. This is the docking collar. Docking collar is the only point of ingress or egress. This is the elevator. It's the only point of ingress or egress. It also goes up to the top floor. There's a second deck in this bad boy. Crew quarters. Who gives a shit? None of this stuff is any useful at all. The bed is useful. There was a problem with the last patch where the bed in the Raft, when you got into it, you couldn't log out. It was really hard to find the interaction point to log out or bed log from your ship. And so it was a couple times I just dumped out of the Raft without even logging out properly because I couldn't find the interaction point. But they fixed that, so it actually works now, and you can lie down and get in there. Eventually, all this stuff's going to work, supposedly. Nice little view out the window there, so you can look at your cargo. Who gives a shit? Some lockers here. This is your toilet. Got a little frosted glass. There we go. So you can actually have some privacy in there. More lockers, escape pods and shit. Gun racks. There's never enough gun racks in these ships. And this is the top floor of the ship. Tractor beam operation station. Engineering. That door shouldn't be open. There we go. That door should not be open either. That's how you get ants. This door should not be open either. This is where your servers are going to go when blades come into play. Another elevator. It's actually the same one. Oh yeah. It's a pretty satisfying crunch there. Oh shit, I just exited. Who's wasting time now? This guy. Alright, back up. There we go, nailed it. Alright, let's start this fine Home Depot bucket up and let's back up and get some cargo. Operate the VTOL engines. If you haven't flown one of these, this thing handles too good. Like, it's pretty wobbly. That's right. So, cargo elevators are functioning better, but a little buggy. The light you see coming out of there is part of the bug. All right. Come on. It does not take anybody on this earth that long to stand up. You get ahead of the game by calling the elevator down. I really wish there's a drop-down ladder at this bad boy. This ship was back from when they were only giving ships like one point of ingress or egress. From way back. Oh hey, there's my overlay. Let's check out the yeah, I think the music's too loud there. We're gonna turn that down a little bit. Check. We're gonna turn my volume up a little bit. There we go. Okay. I can't hear that. Let's just hope it all works. Let's just hope it all works. Okay. So this bug is still persistent as well, where you go to access the cargo elevator controls and it's just not in place. Alright. Let's move shit. Was that the right shit? Yeah, there's a button for mission stuff. Got all of that. There we go. Ignore this. This is all my junk inventory. How'd you do in the wipe? Because I lost a few armor pieces, but not much. I didn't lose much, but I did lose, like I said, all my components. Just ass. All right, let's see if there's. This isn't right. Oh, yes it is. There we go. It's like glitch. Hides all my stuff from me. Alright, let's see if we can use the ship tractor beam for this. It's gonna be difficult to see. But, you know, Star Citizen, baby. Is what it is. Come on. Just missed the elevator. Turn that down a little bit, don't worry. I'm in the red. I'm on the wrong floor. Fuck my ass. The button for activating the tractor beam, you kind of have to mouse over it to get it to work properly. I had someone comment on this, like, the button's gone. Well, the button's not gone, just the label's gone. So you just gotta kind of jiggle the mouse a little bit, and you'll get into the tractor beam. Let's see. Okay, it just selects the elevator. This is fantastic. Everyone keeps riding my ass for not using the tractor beam, telling me I'm doing things the hard way, but you know what? You telling me this is easier? Okay. I'm not doing this. You can. Try to jump in. Oh, wrong door. Or was it? Alright, you get to watch me do all this by hand. This is good times, baby. This is what Star Citizen is all about. It's the tedious gameplay. Good time. Audio glitches. I'll snap these later. For now, I'm just gonna get them out of the way. I have to put an overlay because I keep clicking on it by accident. All right. Back row is pretty easy. Let's go. I didn't total these up. It's supposed to be a lot. So we should be sitting on about, I think, about 450k worth of missions right now. This looks like a reshade on. I gotta find out. Oh, it's awful. From this point, the ship tractor beam would actually be pretty easy to use once you're out of the elevator, but I just don't care anymore. Also, the grid on the raft is pretty snappy. So I don't know if you noticed that, but it grabbed it right off my beam. I did not let go of that crate, it just snatched it off. Okay, not too snappy. Yeah, okay. What the crap? Fuck you, jerky. Get up there. Motherfucker. Okay. Alright. Good times. See that in the comments there. Let's go, let's go, let's go. You haven't used this with the ship tractor beam, it actually is a little easier to load it. Again, because the cargo grid is so damn grippy. You aren't fighting as much as you would be with the handheld, like I am. We are going to use the ship tractor beam to unload them. Try and give it some. Come the fuck on. There we go. All right, wrong place. There we go. Almost there. Did pick up the flag. Suspicion? Like 70k? 73k? Alright, I just hallucinated a person standing there. Was my mind. Right. Checking around, nothing else here. Snap. Alright, that's it. Raft all loaded up. Take this load. Lower deck. Alright. I love that. I love that my overlays keep sizing on the violent themselves. Too distracted by the address. They probably are counting on that. They were at least just hoping.
Shields above. Launch complete.
Yay. Landing gear up. The raft used to stick once upon a time. You had a lot of trouble getting off the ground with the initial launch. You had to use VTOL to do it. But that's not the case anymore. I have no problem looking off without the VTOL engines in play. Even though they were that time, they don't have to be. Give me a little more space here. There we go. Blast off. Goodbye, Area 18. So pretty from the air. I'm not sure what the thinking is when you're designing a city planet of just covering everything with metal. Seems it's kind of expensive. Oh, look at that! My wife is texting me. Not too big a deal. She's sending me a picture of a raccoon. Typical my wife. She also texts me at least 6 times a day to send me a picture of a possum. She's part of some text group that sends possum pictures out every single day. There we go. That was weird. I was just about to say that these POIs seem to be functioning better in this patch, but that was a weird little glitch. Alright, here we go. Boom.
Quantum travel engaged. Quantum travel.
Let's check this thing out. There's our grid. I'd love to see this double stack, but it does not. Just flat stacks. pay attention. Cover. There's no breaks in space. Right. I'm not sure if they've fixed hangars. And hangars worked. They always functioned. Something I noticed with a lot of stations is you'd go to some of these larger points, larger stations, like Everest especially was bad about this. And I'd go to get a call, and if the station was busy, you'd have to wait. You know, it'd be 6 or 7 in the queue, and no problem. You know, I'm a big boy, I can wait. And there we go. And something I noticed while I was waiting is that all of the ships were coming and going from the same hangar bay the entire time. And it looks like they had problems with hangars, and they solved it. They solved it by simply reducing every single station to one hangar. The landing zones are like that as well. Yeah. This one. Got me a medium hangar. Kind of small for this ship. Plenty of room, though. Plenty of room. There we go. Launched it. I'll open the doors before I get out of my seat. Off the engine just in case. Let's go. Turn my light down because goddamn that's a loud door.
Landing complete. Launch complete.
Alright, there we go. We're doing it. This is gonna happen. Alright. Good times. I want to tell a story while I stack boxes. It's a story about stacking boxes. I was in an org once upon a time, and I was out with some guys one night, and we were doing some runs in the Reclaimer, and this is back when they were doing those insane hammerhead contracts that paid out $250,000 just for destroying the hammerhead and stack them like crazy. Like one after the other, after the other, after the other. You just stack all these hammerhead contracts. Come on. Hilarious. So, this cargo grid not working so great. So we're running. I was out with a buddy, and we had a kid with us it was like his first time in a Reclaimer, and it was like his dream to get a Reclaimer so he could have enough cash to buy a Retaliator. I asked him why he wanted a Retaliator, because it's just about the most useless ship in the game. And we had this guy in the back, and he was stacking all the crates, and we just loaded up the hopper. I went to the back and helped this guy move the crates around, and I get back there, and I had a Reclaimer of my own at the time. And I was helping this kid stack the crates, and I was just jamming them up everywhere. I was throwing crates in every single corner. I was throwing crates up on the catwalk. I was throwing crates anywhere I could fit a crate. I was throwing crates. And at some point, he stops. He just comes over and he stands next to me, and he looks at my stack and he says, "You know what? I hate the way you stack crates." And I turn around and look, and like all of his crates were perfect, neat little stacks. And that's fine. That's how he wants to play the game. That's how he enjoys it. And go for it, dude. You know, stack those crates. But I did ask him, like, hey, you know that these are all going to be gone in 2 minutes, right? Like, it doesn't matter how you stack them. They're just going to vanish. And that was before the cargo grid was locked down in the Reclaimer. Back then, you could just any container in the ship sold when you sold the stack. He insisted that he could just continue doing what he was doing and run it the way he always ran it. And I said, okay, I just let him go with it. And I always wondered, because I lost touch with that orc, which is a long story that I'm never going to tell. But yeah, I always wondered what happened to that kid, if he ever got his reclaimer, and if he ever, like, learned his lesson about what a huge waste of time it was to stack all the crates neatly. But they're just going to go to the same spot. Oh, matter. No. Yes! Sorry, I'm trying to figure out a way to get down that without having to actually use the ladder. That was my solution. Problem solved. Alright, let's see if this sticks. Let's see if this turns in. Let's see what happens. Let's push this button. Get excited. Alright. Going down. Turn in. Let's see what happens. It's a noise. It's a cacophony of failure. Alright, good news. Look at that. Alright. Julio. Oh, this is the position glitch, isn't it? Yeah. Let's try that again. Going down. Okay. I recall everything that's here is just mission stuff, right? So it's just select all mission. Okay. This is, I don't know how many contracts. It had to be at least 6. I should also check my balance to find out where we're at. Criminy, how much did I fucking spend? For a second, some math. Okay. Alright, we're gonna total this up later. Let's get this tractor beam. I do appreciate the ships that have the little light at the bottom. Give you an idea of where the entrance is. It carries with the theme. God damn it, I went to the wrong thing. It carries with the theme of the industrial ships that there wouldn't be that kind of luxury item. That this is your work vehicle, you would just know where stuff is. But yeah. I mean, it works in a world where that's the case, but in this game where everyone's just got so many ships, you know, come on, how much does a light bulb cost? You know, I'll pay the extra 50 credits. Alright, let's load this thing up. Let's start with this, oh, crap, these are all one SE containers. Hi. God, I got some music playing. Fuck this. The hell? Give me a second, I gotta check on some stuff. I have a misplaced overlay. Welcome to the chat room. Why is that there? Look at this. My stream is going awry and everybody's just laughing at me. You guys can't give somebody a heads up? Like, you can't tell me my zipper's down? You can't tell me there's a brown stain in my pants? Come on, guys. There we go. For fuck's sake. Alright. Try that again. I do not have 2 monitors, by the way. I just don't have room on my desk for it. Before you tell me I can... Anyway. These box sizes are a result of just the missions that I accepted. I used to have a much higher rank with Kovalix. That's back when I had a whole C. And I don't know if this is still a thing. But once upon a time, and I had a lot of players tell me this was the case with them as well, if you failed a delivery mission, reset your Kovalix rep, and I hope it doesn't still do that. And I don't mean like in a small way, I mean like it like completely wiped all your fucking rep. Like you'd be 3, 4, 5 levels in, like you could be max rep with Kovalix. And if you failed a single delivery mission, which sometimes is not your fault, it would just drop all your rep. And so, I'm actually low rank with Kovalix at the moment, just because I I lost heart, to be quite frank. I just didn't want to run cargo anymore. It was just pissed me off, upset me. Who wouldn't be rattled about that? Get that joystick out of the way. Oh. Oh. There we go. That's weird. Mouse stopped working. Alright, problem solved. Not that I'm making excuses, but the quantity of inputs I have going into my machine right now is pretty intense. This is also just more or less a test run for me, because I don't really intend to do this kind of hauling all the time. Fuck you. Okay. I'm gonna say it again. I hate these fucking tractor beams. It's got its uses, but goddamn what a pain in the ass. Let me jump off this ship for a moment. Look at this. Drop 2 boxes. Don't tell anybody. Problems with overlay. Yeah, when they work. That's kind of why I don't have a whole C anymore. That and the fact that the ship only worked half the time for me. I loved it. Oh god, I love my whole C. What a great ship it was. I actually still have it in the PTU, and I've never reset my character in that space. Just because I still have the whole C there and I want to play around with it. But I melted it and bought... I got a reclaimer. which is not the cash cow it used to be, but it's still up there. Uh-oh, my dog's walking around downstairs. I have a geriatric dog who looks for any excuse to piss on my floor. I mean, when he wasn't geriatric, that was kind of the case with this guy anyway. And I don't blame him. Fun is fun. You know, it's all gonna be worth it because when I get done with this, I'm gonna be a higher rep level, and I'll just get bigger. I'll get the bigger missions. So I'll be pulling missions like everyone is 100 SCU at least, or close to it. So it'll be all the big box missions. These are all small planetary, direct planetary missions. So this is how they make you work for it. But it's not gonna be that much work for me because I'm gonna get all these done in one trip and be done, baby. I will say though that loading the raft up like this, goddamn, it's so much easier. Take some stuff. Oh yeah, the mission perspective of the whole sea. Yeah, it is a much easier setup on that. And frankly, with this open cargo grid that the Raft has, this should be able to access cargo services in the same way that the whole series does. Or the whole C. The whole A. Why doesn't the whole A have access to the cargo services? That's ass. Cannot pull that off. No big deal. Let's move in a window. So, you guys can't see it, but every other click it is bringing up another window that I have in the background. I think Power Toys needs an update. I know I've got one queued up somewhere, I just haven't updated yet. That's okay, you guys just keep enjoying the show. The payoff is this, it's gonna be sweet. I might do another stream later where I embarrass myself live by trying to do the Polaris bounty mission. Have you guys seen that? So if you haven't been in the game yet, there's a new priority mission that pops up, and they want you to go run a bounty on a Polaris and fight that bad boy, which you can do with a team or you can do by yourself. I don't really have a team right now. It's just me out here, just me against the verse. And I'm just gonna get the Corsair ready to go. See if I can take it out by myself. I have fought a Polaris with the Corsair before. Not intentionally. I was landing in a landing zone somewhere, and a couple of guys and a Polaris decided they were going to roll up on me. And I saw them off at the distance. I thought maybe they'll be cool, but I mean it was pyro. Like, what do you fucking expect at pyro? And so they tried to jump me. I did get off the ground in time to actually put up a fight, but they came at me like just bristling with laser fire from every turret. It was a crazy fight. They were trying to outmaneuver me, but they couldn't because it's a fucking Polaris. And I got behind them. I did not win that fight though, because I was just, like, again, I was just one person against a Polaris. There's only so much you can. There's no shame in that. I'm gonna say that. There's no shame in that. I mean, it would have been bragging rights if I'd actually knocked those guys out of the sky. Corsair is a capable ship now that it's been rebuffed. Okay. Oh yeah, look at that. Okay, cool. Throw these in the back, I guess. It's space here. Almost there. Yeah, running these with a team can be so much easier. I don't know if it'd be financially viable. The Raft, it does only hold just under 200 SCU, so you can stack the missions, you can get some good stuff going, but how long it would be profitable for 2 people to do this, I don't know. Space for this origin crates. Okay, let's see where we're at with this. You know, gotta move another overlay. God, these bad boys keep snapping crazy. All right. I have not had this much trouble with overlays with any stream ever. I know what you're thinking, Dr. C. I don't see any streams on your channel. That's because this channel is brand new. And it's not that I've done a lot of YouTube streaming with games in the past. I worked in live broadcast and live streaming. Audio video tech is what I did before this. Currently, I'm doing a lot of nothing, hanging out around the house. The ranking on the mission payouts, there's a lot of that in this game, where you think you're going to get up to the top tier, and this is going to be the big boy stuff. And it's actually going to pay out now, and it really kind of doesn't. I think some of the mercenary missions are like that. You know, I mean, luckily bounty hunting's not, right? Because bounty hunting's such a, God, it's such a grind. All right, engines on.
Engines on.
All right.
Launch complete.
No. Because again, the ship, it does drift more than you want it to. Look at that. I think I get used to it. All right, here we go, punching it. Yeehaw! Look at that view, baby. So I don't know if you saw the update on this, but you can no longer turn clouds off in your graphic settings, which is too bad. When they introduced cloud cover to ArcCorp, it was originally, before they were procedurally generated cumulative clouds, it was just like this blanket of gray they put over the the entire planet, and it sucked. So I just went to the graphic settings that same day, and I turned off clouds, and I never turned them back on. And I flew without clouds for about a year in this game. They're pretty, but I wanted to be able to land at Area 18. That was back when you could just like go insta-load a whole C2 and drop cargo off. And to me, it felt like they were just trying to slow me down. Did I just go blind? Where is my point at? There it is. Okay.
Shields off.
Oh, behind the station. That's why. I went blind. Oh my god.
Quantum travel engaged. Quantum travel complete.
The extra planetary point is a little silly. You know what? I'm gonna turn so you can see the rack on this bad boy. For me, no, yeah, I've got a couple of things I do that just bring in cash, and no, I take your point without wanting to do other game loops, and I don't think that's really just that they don't pay. I think just because the other game loops don't really have any long-term interest, right? What else? What else is there? Like running like combat and FPS stuff. The only real reason to do any of that is just running missions, and once they're done, they're one and done. It's finished. That's it. There's no real arc to anything. There's no engaging gameplay past that. I think they took all the mission givers out of the game, right? So there's not a lot to go with on that. It's kind of lame, frankly. It's a little space there. Just so you know, this ship is definitely one that if you're going down, it will drift on down into the ground faster than you want it to. Definitely gonna be something to think about when they bring atmospheric effects and whoa, what the fuck? Not sure what happened there. Spinning out of control. Right now I get disoriented. Where's my hangar at? Oh, it's right there in front of me. Last place I'd look. Give me a second. I'm gonna land this thing before I actually read the chat here. Give me a minute. Not that I'm in too much of a rush to land, but I kind of am. I had an issue last night after the patch dropped, where I was pulling into my hangar with my name and my label on it, here at Area 18, and I got this far into it, and it pulled me out of my ship, and it impounded my ship for trespassing. My hangar. Someone else was there with me when I spawned in, so I'm assuming that it probably just accidentally doubled up 2 people. But I was in a rush, so it did cause me to get my ship out of impound. And This isn't normal, but usually for me, for some reason, with this lately with the raft, that's the cargo elevator, yeah. With the raft, I'm having a lot of trouble spatially trying to get this thing in place. I just can't wrap my mind around what I'm looking at here. Difficulty reconciling it. I'm not even on the ground. This asshole. There we go. There we go. Don't tell anybody. If anybody asks, this stream was perfect and cool when I pulled it off without a hitch.
Engines off.
So I actually am going to go jump on the ship tractor beam for this, because I'm just going to yank these things off and throw them on the ground. That is it. And I'm going to reset and overlay when we do that. That's right. Yeah, it's professional parking. Tell the world. Oops. Give me a second here. I have an issue I need to deal with here in my life. And I have been locked into the game. Hey. Well, here's the dealio. I'm going to be right back. 30 seconds. For real, 30 seconds. All right, we're back in business. Back in business. Back in business. All right. Okay. No surprise there. It was a problem with my dog. Ooh. Like I said, it's like 1,000,000 years old. Don't feel too bad for him though. That dog is. I have a 9-pound dog. He's 16 years old. But he has lived in 5 states and he has seen 22 others. So he's been around. He's lived some life. He's done some stuff. Okay. Times. Pull it off. Pull it off. Okay, not worth it. This fucking tractor beam, man. I get that you can't like I get that you can't sling with it like you can everything else, but you know, most powerful tractor beam in the game, right? Why can't I sling shit? Get over here. There you go, into the brightness. So, fun fact that I have to deal with is that I get video glitches, a lot of lighting glitches, a lot of lighting issues, and I don't know if anybody else is experiencing these, or if it's just me. And not that I'm making excuses for anybody. Like, you know, this, maybe CIG is the cause of this, but maybe it's the fact that I do run reshade. So, you know, this might be my own fault. It's certainly entertaining. The problem with it is I can't see anything. I can't see where I'm stacking stuff. I'm slamming boxes in there. Bumping my mic. I mean to do that. Sorry, I got distracted. Somebody on Twitch is trying to sell me some cheap viewers. If I just let this play and somebody tunes in at no cost to me, what's cheaper than that? Oh shit, hang on. I don't think any of the fixes for anything stick 100%. And like, I don't know if you guys have ever like done any like, you know, coding with the logic systems and things like that, but like, it seems like it's all straightforward until you start adding complications to it and things just start breaking other things. And at some point, your processor calls start jamming up your own system. So I guess, yeah, I'm gonna put this down to a lack of optimization in the game. Which, speaking of which, I haven't even tested Vulkan out in months. I don't know what the state of Vulkan is right now. The last time I tried it, it ran okay, but for the sake of format compatibility with video capture and video editing and just taking it easy on my encoder, I keep everything in DirectX. God, it's so much easier to unload. This is great. For all I know, they're going in there. I'm assuming they're going in there. Did you ever see the fog? Kind of like that. When this is done, I'm gonna kill some kid. Mission's gonna be over. Oops. Oops. Oh, that's good to hear. Glad Vulcan's in good shape. Yeah, that's me. The live streams don't have the energy of the videos, though, and the reason for that is that, you know, when you've got all the time in the world to sit and work on an edit, you've also got all the time in the world to think of a script before you start recording. And usually your guys are, if I'm doing a gameplay session, you've probably seen it a day or two after I actually played it, so I've got time to mull things over, figure out what I'm going to do and what I'm going to say. Did have something I wanted to show you guys. What was it? Oh yeah, here it is. I got it. Hang on a second. Oh, you son of a bitch. Now I can't swap my overlay. Okay, I got a video clip for you guys. It's gonna be awesome. When I get alt tab working again. I got another scene set up. Because maybe this is something that was in the game before and I didn't notice, but I noticed it last night and it blew me away. I actually got a video clip of it. Cannot pull that down. I believe the grid's lock. Here we go. So hang on a second. I got a scene to show you guys. We're gonna go over this. Get ready for your mind to be blown. This is extra content. Turns out, and again, maybe this is in the game already, but I noticed last night the noodles are in the game. They're working, so you can actually stop at the noodle shops and you can eat the noodles. And this is the best thing I ever saw in my life. There you go. Look at that. It's just eating the shit. So now we can actually partake in the intended cyberpunk gameplay by eating noodles in a weird cyberpunk, city. So there we go. While I'm here, go ahead and chug a bottle. Oh, it's delicious. Do the right thing though. You got to put that bad boy in the can there. There we go. All right. Then we're just gonna. What's next? Oh yeah, wrestle this fucking helmet back on. Ah, done. All right. Let's move cargo. Super excited about the noodles. When they get pizza slices in the game's actually going to be complete. That's 1.0. Working pizza slices is Star Citizen 1.0. I like it. I like it a lot, actually. I liked the Raft before, but it just wasn't as useful as it needed to be. The cargo capacity was just too small. Just too small. It was too, which is weird because it was a big ship, right? What I'm crossing my fingers for and hoping for in the future is some Big Brother version of this, you know, which they could call, I guess they could call it the barge. I would, where it's like a raft, but it's larger, heavier, and holds like, you know, 500-600 SCU, maybe like 800-900. That would rock. I'm also crossing my fingers that sometime in the future we're gonna get a Constellation Mark II. Not sure how many Constellation fans there are out there. I'm just kidding. Everybody's a Constellation fan, for the most part. That Connie Tours video I did a while back, like people are still hammering that with comments. I'm sorry, I laughed about the piece of slices. Still. Let me ask about bathroom functionality, since that topic just came up. How much functionality do you want to see in the bathrooms in a video game? Because I know there's some weirdos out there who want to see quite a lot of functionality in that regard, but I don't really consider myself in that. You know, I'm not all hyped to watch a spaceman take a shit. I mean, maybe it'll be cool if we get some like in-game version of TikTok to watch while we're on the toilet. Because that would be real Star Citizen content when like taking a shit takes 45 minutes because you can't put your phone down. Everybody in the house getting pink eye because no one will stop texting on the toilet. Oh shit, is that it? Oh, that looks like it. Alright. Cargo unloaded. Only took 25 minutes of talking to do it. Alright. Get in. Oh shit, look at this mess. Alright, there we go. Yeah, okay, I gotta clean this up a little bit. Hang on. I cannot close this elevator like this. Ooh, I like that. I like that work pick idea. Take a picture of your feet at the bottom of the toilet. There. This needs to get moved. Oh, that actually snapped. What are the chances? That actually snapped. Get back there. So this is the problem with the light bug, and this has been going on for me basically the whole time. Like when I loaded the patch up, I opened the cargo elevator the first time, and like it just beam of light came out, and that was it. I just struggling with this. It only happens here at the planet location on ArcCorp, which is my home location, unfortunately. So I live out of this station. All right, good enough. Let's punch this button and see what happens. Okay. Turn it in. Yes. Goodbye, cargo. Oh, listen to that sweet symphony of boxes banging around. Okay. should be closing out. Let's check and see if all these missions finished up. Oh, look at that. There's still a mission. Not completed. 12 of 16. Oh. Okay. Son of a bitch. When I started slinging these off with the ship tractor beam, I noticed that 2 of the 4 SAU crates, one of the 4 SAU crates actually vanished. I only got 3 of them onto the cargo elevator, and I figured maybe it glitched through the floor, or perhaps it actually finished off and the went to the elevator. I wasn't sure, but it turns out that one of the crates vanished. So missions not working as intended. How much cash are we looking at here? What did I make? Hey, oops. Moving stuff around. Right. Let's do some calculations. I happen to have a calculator here. All right, I didn't make too much. I made like 350,000 credits off that. That's not a great run. How we doing on Kovalex, which I think is here? There we go. Yeah, good job. All right, I'm in the junior category now, which I was before anyway. What the hell? Wasn't I? No, I was rookie. I was rookie. All right. Well. All right, something cool happened here. Like crap, I'm falling behind the comments up here. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I wonder what they're gonna do with like waiting to go to the bathroom. I'm kind of curious about how that's gonna you know, flesh out. Because like, would you just like shit your spacesuit? You know, do you piss yourself and everybody complain about it? Oh yeah, that's actually a good idea. Let's check this cargo grid. Am I off the? No, but you know what? I'm gonna store it anyway. Fuck it. Let it fall in there.
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle retrieval system.
Store.
Your vehicle has been
Turn that on so you guys can see. Oh yeah. You know, that's just good, clean fun right there. Oh. Okay, well. I was trying it. All right, let's bring it back up.
to the ASOP.
Come on, baby.
Your vehicle has been please visit us again.
I'm waiting for the cargo over there up too. That way, in case this is on there, we can go ahead and kill 2 birds with 1 stone. There we go. Just hanging up there. Oh, there it is. looking at my butt. All right, there is no cargo reset on this ship. It's all gone. But there's the new storage grid, which I actually, like I said, I actually do really like that a lot. This thing has the same range as like a Zeus CL or a Pisces Expedition. Doesn't have a massive QT tank, which I think is kind of silly. Frankly, you tell me you can't fit more in there than that. I mean, this ship's actually it's not as large as the Corsair. I was gonna say it's bigger than the Corsair, but no, it's not. But it's industrial. It's not like it's full of. It's not like this thing's full of luxury items, right? So somewhere in there, you gotta be able to fit another at least half SCU of fuel, right? I don't know. Maybe on the barge they'll do that. Oh, what the fuck? There it is. All right, good job, team. Come on, let's go. Let's go, pick it up. Oh yeah, we're about to get paid, baby. This is the best day ever. Should have had the Atlas out for this. No big deal. Big boy, I'll carry it over. Look at that light glowing. Nice. This is awesome. Okay, here we go. Hang on a second. Turn that in. Oh yeah, another 40K in the bank. There we go. In case for those of you who got here late, I was talking about it very early on in the stream, but like when the patch dropped, I didn't lose much armor. I didn't lose anything really except components. I lost almost all of my ship components. I had enough components for half a ship's worth of upgrades, and that's it. So I had to go out and spend millions of credits. I also forgot to store the raft that I bought, and so I had to rebuy the raft. So I'm probably out about 6 mil just from this one update, which is kind of silly, to be frank. At least I thought so. Hang on a second. Give you guys a view of this bad boy. Here we go. It is supposed to just run from the planet to the low orbit stations. It really is supposed to be a shorter range hauler. It's just like it's more or less a planetary delivery vehicle. They had base building in mind with the Raft when they put this thing together originally. Yeah, you know what? I meant to mention that in a video I did a few weeks back with the freight elevators, where you don't actually have to stack that stuff neatly. You can just toss that shit in there. It's okay. Ship grids matter now. They didn't used to matter. Once upon a time, ship grids didn't make a difference at all. But with freight elevators, anything that goes in there is okay. And I think they just put the grids in just for people who are a little OCD. Not really sure about that. But there we go. There's the raft. You know, functional. Let's get up here and get a nice clean view of this bad boy. Oh yeah. Gotta take it nice and slow. I do like this ship. I'm glad they fixed it. I do intend to use it more. It does. The funny thing about this is it comes with size 3 cannons on the top. They see that turret up there. There are no guns mounted for the pilot. But the pilot does control the turret if there's nothing else going on. But you have to buy the guns to put on the ship. It doesn't come with any guns, and they're only size 1s. So I do have a couple of size 1 guns mounted on the bottom. If you look down there, you can kind of see an attrition popping out underneath the cockpit. So that's what you get. You get a couple ones and a couple threes. I did not upgrade those cannons. I'm just gonna keep those cannons. I like to have a mix of those. I like to have some lasers and cannons. Lasers to keep the shields melting, and cannons to hit hard when the shots actually land. But it does have 3 size 2 shield generators. Size 2? Yeah, size 2 shield generators. They're not bubble shields, so you actually have them from on each side, top, bottom, side, and front, and back. So you can angle yourself if as needed to try and recharge your shields or get it out of a fight. It does accelerate quickly enough, so I actually have been under fire a couple times in situations where like, oh, how do I get out of here? What do I do? You know, I just put it in nav mode and punched the boost and got out of town. It's a pretty tough ship, so for what it is, for just being a medium ship, it's pretty survivable. Someone mentioned to me in the comments that they actually use the Raft for bounty hunting since they gave it the top turret. And I can actually see that being a viable thing. So it's defensible. You're probably not going to win in a fight with like a heavy fighter. If you find yourself fighting like an Inferno, you're probably going to be hosed pretty quickly. But that's the nature of the Inferno. Everything's hosed pretty quickly with that ship. But yeah, I do like this flat cargo grid. That is definitely an improvement. So, the only other thing I can think of to do with this is something I wanted to test in the PTU, but I forgot to test out. But if you've been to Area 18, anytime lately, you may have noticed there's an Idris part above the area. Am I at an org? I actually have my own org that I've set aside, and I've got it all to myself at the moment. It's redacted. I'm not doing anything with it at the moment. It's just gonna sit there. I was in a very large military org for a while, and we had a lot of fun, but that all kind of fell apart, and that's not a story I want to tell. Because it would be critical of someone I don't want to be critical of publicly, and it wouldn't take long for the clues to start coming together before people start figuring that out. So I'm just not going to talk about it. But I am half tempted to get in this ship and crash it into the Idris that's parked over Area 18 to see if it actually explodes. I hope to God they didn't park that Idris there and allow that to be a possibility. But with CIG, sometimes they don't think about these things. Like way back in the day, like there were the areas around the stations, you couldn't fight in those areas, but you could park an Eclipse outside of Port Olisar, and fire torpedoes onto the launch pads and blow up every ship that landed on the launch pad. Like the silly shit that they've allowed to happen, that would ruin everybody's life. Sometimes persist. So, you know, I kind of don't want to. I do, and I don't want to troll. And I wanted to do it in the PTU back when it didn't matter, but now that it's live in game, I don't think I'm gonna punch that button. But probably I'm gonna call it a day here and go get some laundry done. Go cut some grass. I got a dead tree in the backyard. I gotta chainsaw that bad boy. Get some stuff going. But thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching the stream. Thanks for chatting with me. It's been kind of fun. And before I go, I would like to point out that noodles are working in this game. And so if you need to eat noodles, you can actually do this now. And I'm trying to think of the name of the movie. For the life of me, I can't. God, what was that freaking cyberpunk movie with Harrison Ford? Blade Runner. Yeah, eat noodles in a cyberpunk setting. Total Blade Runner move right there.
Hey.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I might stream live again. I had something else I wanted to do, but I forgot what it was. What was it? Oh, shit, dude. Holy crap, thanks, man. Yeah, thank you. I'm happy to make it. I'm happy to entertain people. I have fun with this. I had another event I wanted to stream live. Oh yeah, the fighting the Polaris. I wanted to try and take on the Polaris. So I might do that sometime, maybe tomorrow, maybe this weekend, but otherwise it's going to be probably late in the evening, because I like to do this after my wife goes to sleep. Listen, this is a fun game. I really like it, but I have a short, cute wife with huge tits, and frankly, Star Citizen does not compete. It just doesn't. All right, so I wait till she falls asleep usually before I start playing this game. I like my wife. What am I going to say? You know, I'm not going to apologize for that. But anyway, I don't have a sign out screen. I never actually made one. Tell you what, I'm gonna let you guys enjoy the pre-roll for a minute before I end the stream. So thanks a lot. Laters.